Hi guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about setting up a Microsoft 365 parent connector. We're going to be using Azure AD and Microsoft Entra ID, leveraging that connector to get data directly from your Azure AD Entra ID environment into the CMA for anomaly data and sign-on data. Let's get started. So you can review all the integrations directly from resources and integrations. We're going to go to app activities to show some of the options here of what you can integrate. But we're going to go straight to data protection APIs and build that parent connector. So we go to new. You can see we're going to set up a 365 new tenant. You're going to name that connector name. Then you're going to authorize and save, and you can choose to track errors with the connector. So once you do that, you're going to be able to log in directly with your admin of your Microsoft 365 tenant. So you log in and then you accept the permissions associated with this. And then you can see that's connected now. We have a good connected Microsoft 365 tenant. Now you can go into your Entra Admin Center and validate what it looks like here. You can see there I've got my applications below, so you can take a look at what that looks like directly inside your Entra Admin Center. Now we're going to build a new connector leveraging that parent connector we just built. So here we're going to do Entra ID protection. We're going to do the connector tenant of the tenant we just built. So select that here. Mine is Teams Lab. And so now I can go here and say, hey, I named the connector. I'm going to do permissions of read. And now I can go and hit save. So I have my connector tenant. This is the connector name for this particular Entra ID protection, and then click save. It's going to load, and then you're going to authorize that. And then you're going to do the same process, the global administrator, and accept permissions. Once that's done, you should get a success page, and then you're going to see that it's connected directly in your Cato CMA. Let's repeat that process for the Azure AD Entra ID connector. So we go here, we select our connector tenant. We're going to name this one, I name mine Entra Azure AD logs. Got to get the permissions of read. You hit save, you authorize it, goes through the same process, accept the permissions, and you can see it's connected now. Great. Now we can go into the integrated apps to see what apps we have integrated. Now these are connected, so you can see that we have MS Cloud apps under the general, and you've got Entra ID, sign-in activities, and anomaly protection. So that's what we want to be able to see now that we have this set up. Now let's look at the data. What do we get with this? If you go to the Cloud Activity Dashboard under Security, we can see the data associated with what we just set up. You can see there's inline and API options here, inline and API with users. So inline is going to be everything that traverses a Cato POP. We're decrypting it, we're adding, and we're looking at data and seeing sign-ins and users and data. If we switch that over to API, that's what we just built. So even if you're not going through a Cato POP, we can still see this data and help you secure and make strategic decisions based on it. So you can see here's the users that are logging in directly using the API data, uploads, downloads, the applications and files. So this is all pulled directly from the API. Now we can see the SSO sign-in activity. So this is using the Azure Entra ID logs. So you can see who's signed in and outside of Cato, failures, what country they're signing in from. We can see top sign-ins outside of Cato. So if they're not leveraging the Cato infrastructure, maybe you can look and see like who's using this outside of Cato. This helps you secure your entire global infrastructure, even if you're not connecting directly through Cato all the time. Then you can look at sign-in anomalies. What are those weird areas? What's being picked up that's anomalous behavior? We can look at anomalies over time. You can drag the time period over this to see that data if you want to. And then you can look at the actual anomaly details here, so you can break it down. You can also break down by OS and browser to see where those logins are occurring from. And then now we can actually go in here and we can view events if we want to on an unfamiliar sign-in property. I can click View Events. And then that'll bring us into the Cato event log here. And I can open up the details with the plus sign, and then I can see the event message associated with that. So I can get the detail associated with any of those anomalous or user logins that I want to see. All right, guys, thanks so much. I hope this was helpful. Hi guys, in today's video, we set up the Microsoft 365 parent connector. We then built two connectors using the parent connector, the Entra ID protection anomaly connector, and the Azure Entra ID log connector. We then validated that data in the CMA using the Cloud Activity Dashboard and walked through a workflow looking at the events associated with an anomaly. Thanks so much. I hope this is helpful.